Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
New for you at noon, a Bismarck woman is charged for sexually assaulting a 16-year-old girl. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Stanwood. Kimberly Specker reportedly had sexual contact with a teenage girl on June 5th, and Bismarck police say the crime was reported on June 7th. Court documents reveal that the two may have been in a sexual relationship and that Specker knew the victim was 16. At her initial appearance, the judge set bond at $500, and Specker isn't allowed to have contact with the victim. The Minnesota Supreme Court is hearing arguments that could change the way police handle suspected drunk drivers. Current Minnesota law makes it illegal to refuse a breath, blood, or urine test for alcohol. In fact, the penalties for the refusal to take a DWI test can be worse than drunk driving itself. Now, critics say that violates the Constitution. Two men have sued the state, saying they should not be penalized for refusing to turn over bodily fluids without a warrant. A family of 8 is getting help from the American Red Cross after a fire did major damage to their home. It happened in Mayville yesterday afternoon. The Red Cross says there is heavy smoke and fire damage in the upper floors of the home, and it's unlivable. The group is now providing assistance with housing and other basic needs for the family. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. A massive overnight fire in Arizona has been quenched. That's after firefighters worked tirelessly into the night, and all that's left is smoke, small flames, and 700 acres of scorched land. The Tenderfoot fire set ablaze last night and forced 250 residents to evacuate their homes. According to officials, the area has seen warmer temperatures and high winds since the last rainfall in mid-May. And it's feeling like a warm summer day out here. Let's check in with meteorologist Robert Hahn for a look at our latest conditions. Robert?
Yeah, warmed up nicely out there. Lots of sunshine. We'll continue to see mostly sunny skies, excuse me, as we head through the rest of the day. Temperatures, a mix of some 70s and already some 80s out there, including here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. 81 degrees, also 81 down in Wahpeton, 79 in Jamestown, Langdon, Grand Forks, Crookston, and Fergus Falls. Winds similar to yesterday, out of the south and southeast, primarily around 5 to 15 miles per hour with some occasional stronger gusts. And those southeasterly winds will be with us over the next several days. Not a whole lot of cloudiness out there and not anticipating a whole lot. And underneath what few clouds we do have, no precipitation, but we do have a chance for some showers and some thunderstorms moving through the northern valley primarily as we head through the overnight hours tonight and into your Friday morning. More on that here in just a little bit. The first 2 days of the 7-day forecast today, some upper 80s and that chance for some overnight storms. Tomorrow, a chance for a few more storms, and we'll continue with storm chances off and on as we head through the next 7 days, and we'll detail that coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Robert. And to stay up to date on the weather conditions where you are anytime on your smartphone or tablet, just download the Storm Team Weather app to get the latest weather conditions and even follow the radar live. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store. An Islamic funeral prayer service is underway for boxing great Muhammad Ali. The service, which began at noon, is expected to last 1 hour at Louisville, Kentucky's Freedom Hall. A funeral procession and public memorial will be held in Louisville on Friday. Tens of thousands of fans are expected to attend. The three-time heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali died on June 3rd at the age of 74. Authorities say a man died falling into a hot spring in Yellowstone National Park. It happened when the 23-year-old and his sister were hiking hundreds of yards off the trail on Tuesday, according to a park press release. The area holds numerous geysers and hot springs, and there are signs warning visitors not to stray from trails and boardwalks.
This is absolutely a warning and a reminder to all visitors that they must stay on the boardwalks. And it's for their own safety.
The water under the thin, breakable crust in the park's thermal areas can be near or even at boiling temperature. And there's a slight change as to where you can go to vote in Cass County to vote early for the North Dakota primary election. The early voting location at the Baymont Inn in Fargo has been closed. You can still vote at the Cambria Suites in West Fargo and at the Days Inn in Castleton. Ballots for every Cass County precinct are available at each location, and you are reminded to make sure you have proper identification so that you can vote. A community program in Rochester, Minnesota helps people from other countries fit into life in America. One Ethiopian refugee came here hoping for a better life, and now his relentless pursuit of education is changing other lives too. Devin Bartolota has this story.
In this graduation season, when diplomas abound, perhaps no graduate was as determined as Nyathe Bongo.
And then I asked the doctor, what do you want I should do for me to work here? He said, just have to go to school.
Bongo's American dream began in Africa. He was forced to leave his home country of Ethiopia as violence erupted and found himself at 15 at Dadaab refugee camp in Kenya.
I lived in Kenya for a decade in the refugee camps, in the Dadaab refugee camp, the largest refugee camps in the world.
Though his future uncertain and situation grim, Bongo kept learning. He worked on his English and published 2 children's stories in the camp's newspaper. 10 years later, life changed.
I was among the few lucky ones to get this opportunity to come to America.
Bongo was a stranger in a new country and sought help at the Intercultural Mutual Assistance Association. Staff helped him register for classes at RCTC, and determined to make the most of his chance to succeed, he biked an hour each way to class after work.
There I am. I started going to RCTC, and actually this year I graduated in advanced hospital nursing.
He saved enough to buy his first car, got married, had 2 kids, and now works at Mayo Clinic as a translator, fulfilling a dream that once was a world away.
Some of the people I have lived with in the refugee camps, when they come, I help interpret for them. They say, how did you do this? I said, you have to open your eyes.
As IMAA helped Bongo find his voice, he has helped countless others like him, finding opportunity where some may see hopelessness and taking nothing for granted.
And Bongo plans to return to school this fall. According